Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
Congratulations in order. Second half of the New Year's begins today.
Wow.
We made it halfway through 2025. But there's something to worry about. There's always something to worry about.
Oh, good.
I don't want to get too far ahead and make you all giddy. But the world is spinning faster this first 6 months than ever before.
Really?
Yeah.
And what is the cause of that?
Well, this could be the very shortest full day recorded on Earth, and next week, I should say.
All right.
For some reason, the planet has been spinning faster, and now astronomers think that either July 9th, the 22nd, or August 5th could be the day the Earth completes its full rotation 1.5 milliseconds ahead of schedule.
Wow.
Now, considering it takes you about 1/100th millisecond to blink, it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's never happened before in recorded science. Could break the record for the shortest day ever. They think the moon's gravitational pull is speeding us up.
Oh.
And those are the days the moon could be closest to the equator. So that's why it's causing it to spin faster.
Okay.
I think it's politics, personally.
Oh, really?
I don't think
Just the planet itself is
out of control.
Kind of fed up, so
It's spinning.
It's stressed out.
It wants out.
And it's moving quicker. I get you.
Yeah. But
Makes sense to me.
Scientists say it's the moon. I say it's the way adults are behaving in politics. Okay. Also, this one I think you'll be interested in because this one still amazes many people. And it's on the kind of the sports side of things, kind of economics and sports. Yeah.
Oh, I think I know where you're going. Is it Bobby Bonilla Day?
Yes. Every July 1st, the former Mets outfielder gets a boatload of money.
Still getting it.
Yeah, he retired in 2001.
Yeah.
Instead of paying him $5 million to go away, the Mets stupidly agreed to a deferred payment, giving him $1.2 million every year from 2011 to 2035.
Wow.
Yep. So this is the day they'll hand him the oversized check and let him drive a lap around the stadium and hoot and holler.
All right. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. Is there a chance of maybe a Dave Burney Day or a Brent Apperson Day? That'd be. And you know what? For me, I'd just $100.
Yeah, wouldn't take $100 million.
Every July 1st, just pay me $100. Call it Brent Apperson Day.
Wow,
that'd be great.
Yeah. Gosh,
that's crazy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah. How?
I think.
Man, how could that even come about? Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
how could a business deal be made like that?
Yeah.
I mean, what were they thinking?
I don't know.
All right, Prairie Pioneer Center today. Oh, I don't have the menu for this month yet, so we'll just tell you it's going to be good. And you can...
I might be able to bring it up for you on my phone.
Okay.
If you give me a minute or two.
Well, while you do that, I'll let them know that as of today, new prices begin. Suggested donation for 60 years and older is $7. Home delivery and carry-out, $7.25, and the cost for under 60, $7.75. Those are suggested donations, and those suggested donations begin today for the Prairie Pioneer Center at 872-6121.
Yeah, July 1st. Looks like today at the Prairie Pioneer Center, the menu is breakfast casserole today
sounds good.
with peas and fruit. Your menu today at the Prairie Pioneer Center. Call ahead, 872-6121. I think they prefer you call by 9 o'clock in the morning so they can make the necessary arrangements. and be prepared for you. Breakfast casserole, peas and fruit on the menu today at the Prairie Pioneer Center.
All right. Do you know what the code word yesterday was?
Oh.
I didn't get to hear it.
I don't know if I... Yeah, you and I were kind of switching spots, and I didn't really zone in to what the code word was.
Well, be listening for the code word today at the end of the breakfast show. That will give you a chance to win a $1,000 gas card, a $500 gas card, or a $50 gas card to be used at Trotters Woe and Go, who are participating with us on this promotion, along with a lot of other great businesses. So listen somewhere around 9:30. With our remotes at our communities, we've been running overtime, which is usual this time of year. So just wait till the end of the show today. You'll get the code word, and that will get you the word to enter into Sandhills Express contest page, and they'll just get a little information from you in that registration, and then you'll be in the drawing, and you can do this every day. There'll be a different code word every day, 7 days a week through this month.
Yes, and if you do miss the code word during the breakfast show, it does re-air at 3:30 on both of our radio stations.
Right, and at a parade or two left this summer, there'll be a QR code banner with our cars, and you can take a picture of that when it goes by, and that's another code, separate code that you can enter and get your name in that way too. Pretty cool.
Yes, it is. Am I eligible?
No.
Rats.
Darn it, $1,000 in gas.
Yeah, I know.
People are going for this one,
yes,
and I don't
they
blame
are.
them these days with the cost of everything. That would help, well, keep you staying in budget.
Yes.
For the year. $1,000 gas. $500 would be nice too. 50's great.
I was going to say 50 would fill up my tank.
Yeah, thanks to Trotters Woe and Go and participating businesses. July 3rd, on Thursday, July 3rd, the Blaine County Courthouse will not have a driver's examiner. Next scheduled time will be July 31st. And if you have any questions, call them at the Blaine County Courthouse at 308-547-2222 and ask any questions. They'll answer those for you. But again, Thursday's driver exams will not be held at the Blaine County Courthouse. The next scheduled driver's exam session will be July 31st. So we wanted to be sure and get that on the air before Dave overlooked it and forgot it. All right, this is the anniversary of the Walkman.
Oh, loved my Walkman.
Did you have one?
Oh, sure, I had a Walkman. Yeah, it was great. The only thing I didn't like was, the old headphones that you used for your Walkman back in the day. Mm-hmm. They just didn't. They're not like the headset that we are wearing at the moment, where it really clamps on your ears, and kind of tunes out everything else. They were so, it was so easy to get them bent, and they hardly would attach to your ears that you had to crank it up a little bit. But, oh yeah, I loved the Walkman. It was awesome.
46 years ago today, the first personal portable music device was born. No, not the phone or the iPod. It was the Sony Walkman. Sure, the thing about it was about the size of a truck. Mm-hmm. It was big when it first started. And used cassette tapes, burned through batteries very, very fast.
Yes.
But allow you to listen to whatever you wanted to. And it came with those headphones you're talking about. So you could start ignoring people at the dinner table if you were allowed to wear them.
Yep. Now when we go for a walk, you use your little earbuds,
yes,
that are Bluetooth to your phone. But back in the day, man, you clipped the Walkman to your jeans or shorts or whatever.
Yep, and it worked.
Yes.
And that's when we started ignoring one another. We started wearing headsets.
Yeah, that might be kind of where it started.
All right, let's play the game real quick. See if we can give away a ticket to the Sumner Rodeo and whatever else you have there for a treat.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, so that means Tumbleweed Day. We'll give you a chance to win a certificate that'll get you a free food item at Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill right there at the Tumbleweed location. All right, we got the 4th of July coming up, of course, this week. But while the 4th of July is known by those of us in the U.S. as Independence Day, other things have happened in history on this day. So we're going to ask you about some of those. In 1976, on July 4th, a daring raid was organized by Israeli commandos freeing passengers held on a hijacked Air France plane. Where was this plane being held?
At what,
Did you get all of that?
At what airport?
Yes,
Okay.
I think so. In 1976, on July 4th, a daring raid was organized by Israeli commandos freeing passengers held on a hijacked Air France plane. Where was this plane being held? Your choices are Cairo, Egypt, New York City, Entebbe, Uganda, or Mexico City.
Okay.
Okay. You want a hint?
Well, we'll give the caller a hint. How's that?
Okay, that'll work.
Call us at 872-2801 and win yourself a prize at the Cracker Jacks and a ticket to the Sumner Rodeo, not radio. 872-2801.
And action! It's Dave and Brent getting the action started on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Summertime means busy nights and not exactly knowing what you're going to have for dinner, let alone when you're going to have it. That's where the Tumbleweed Cafe's take and bake casseroles come in. Swing through and pick one up. Give it some heat and you're good to go. Need to start your morning right? Drive through for breakfast. Quick, easy, and delicious. To relax at the end of a busy day, visit Cracker Jack Sports Bar and Grill inside the Tumbleweed Building in Broken Bow. Open every night at 5 until 10 or when Carmen walks out the door.
We have a caller on the line. Didn't get a chance to find out who, so let's bring up the phone here. Who are we talking to?
Billy Bales.
Billy, how are you doing?
I'm good, Dave.
Good. Here's your question. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay, Billy, in 1976, on July 4th, a daring raid was organized by Israeli commandos freeing passengers held on a hijacked Air France plane. Where was the plane being held? Was it Cairo, Egypt, New York City, Entebbe, Uganda, or Mexico City?
I'm going to say Egypt. I might be wrong, but...
Yeah, that's a good guess. Nope, that's not it, Billy. The hint is this: it was really tough for Brent to pronounce the name. So your choices are New York City or I don't even know. Entebbe? Are you familiar with Entebbe, Uganda?
We're not going there.
Yeah, or Mexico City.
Well, next guess would be Mexico City.
It was it was actually Uganda.
That's a tough one,
Billy.
Billy.
That's a
not
tough
an easy
one.
question.
No, that is not an easy question. But
So, Brent and Dave,
yeah.
what do you know today?
I think the Cubs are still leading the division, aren't we?
Yeah, and the
Barely.
Cardinals are not doing too bad.
No, they're not. They're playing really
They
well.
lost to the Pirates last night, Brent.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the Pirates are not very good.
Yeah.
But I'm not giving up hope.
No, it's turned into a good divisional race with.
And I think this is the Bears' year to make the playoffs, Brent. What do you think?
Amen, Billy. I hope so. Yes, we're gonna be in the mix this year.
Yeah, we are. That's the toughest division in football, Brent.
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. It could be.
So the juniors and seniors play tonight. I went Sunday and watched them. I do a pitch count, and they both won Sunday.
Yep.
Tonight they play Minden, but tomorrow the seniors play a doubleheader with McCook at Paul Brown Field, and I'm going to go watch it.
That's good. I think tomorrow night's kind of for the West Division Championship, so that'll be
I
big.
hope we beat them because I shouldn't say nothing, but I do not like McCook. Their fans are not very nice.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, now Billy. Well, I tell you
they
what.
are, but one year we went over there. I went there, and Jenny Jensen could tell you this.
Oh, Jiminy Christmas.
Oh, boy.
No.
That we went over there one time, and this lady come on the field, started arguing with the umpires. She would not be quiet, and she had a rule book out there.
Oh.
And she was arguing about calls and stuff like that. And she wasn't right, and the umpire told her to be quiet, be quiet, be quiet, and she wouldn't be quiet. So the umpire said, put his balls down and says, McCook, you forfeit, Brokomo, you win.
Whoa.
I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Yes.
Well, hopefully things will everything will be good tomorrow, and we'll just be
Yeah,
able
it
to
will
enjoy
be.
the game. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well,
right.
you guys have a good day.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.
Okay, bye.
Guy has a memory, doesn't he?
I know he does. Yes, he does. Get him and Cotner together.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
get them talking about baseball and sports from the past. That's a fun discussion.
We're going to talk Arrow Seed right after these words.
The Breakfast Show
Don't know what I'd do without them. They're awesome.
on KCNI KBBN.
This summer, let your spending take you further with the Bernie Bank credit card. Earn points on every purchase, whether you're filling up for a road trip, booking that beach getaway, or grabbing dinner on the patio. Use your rewards your way on the things that make summer even better. Summer fun. Meet smart rewards with the Bernie Bank credit card. Bernie Bank. Build, grow, thrive. Member FDIC.
Summertime and the outdoor activities it brings are officially here. Geared for Sports has what you need, whether you're a participant or a spectator. Go and see their great selection of shirts, tees, and tanks for the whole family. Comfort in the hot Nebraska summer heat is just through the door at Geared for Sports. Remember to check out the GCI chairs too, a perfect seat for watching your favorite athlete. Geared for Sports on the west side of the square in Broken Bow.
Hello there, it's Erin with Rise Rehab and Performance. Spring has sprung and summer is just around the corner. We want you to feel ready for all the fun of the warmer months. Don't let your physical conditions slow you down. Rise to the occasions of your life. Is it farming and ranch work, summer sports, travel, whatever it may be, we want you to feel your best. Give us a call at 872-5800 to schedule your appointment today. Rehab, recover, rise.
It is 7:47, almost 7:48. Andre is here from Arrow Seed. Good morning.
Morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. Thanks for being patient with us.
No problem.
We're rolling along here through this Tuesday. Nice day yesterday.
Beautiful.
I don't know what the temperature for a high was, but probably 82 or 3 or 4 somewhere in there. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I just know we went out and walked around the park about 8:30 last night. What a beautiful evening.
Beautiful.
It was perfect.
What's even nicer is a cool morning like this, where it's just mid-50s and it's beautiful.
Kind of was shocking when you opened a door and walked out on the porch this morning. It was cooler than I thought it was going
True.
to be. Yeah.
Do I need a sweatshirt or I just need my regular clothes? But yeah.
And are you still camping?
No. Well, I gave that up. Yeah. I actually found some place to rent.
Good.
It's actually kind of more of a rent-own type place, but kind of a, very humble little shausa.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it's on 11th Avenue, pretty close to work. So, yeah. Really enjoyed my time up in Myrna. Very quiet place for the most part.
Yeah.
Annette and Dave.
Yep.
Dave, they did a really good job up there, and I was going to put in a good word for those guys. So, yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be Cousin Eddie's, right, Dave?
Yeah, right.
Cousin Eddie's.
Let's write that down,
Have
and
to
we'll
charge
we'll
Dave for
bill
that.
Dave here
Okay.
later
Thanks,
about
Andre.
the
Appreciate it.
for
And
live
remember
read.
my cut off that, please. Like we talked. Yep.
I brought up the weather because we had that really hot spell, and now we're back to, I don't know, seems like cooler than normal for this time of year. We're early July now. But I know the gardens look pretty good. Grass looks pretty good out there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're talking to people about, maybe some bugs moving in and different things.
Yes, absolutely. As for our 5-step program, we're kind of moving into our grub control phase and summer green phase. So those, you're probably going to start seeing on some Japanese beetles start popping up. And this is actually the time to start getting that merit or some other systemic insecticide into the ground so it can have time to move through the plants. And when those little buggies those little eggs start popping and they want to start eating, they got something poisonous to start chewing on, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, welcome to the world, boys. So, yeah.
Short stay, and that's the way you want it on
Exactly. Yep. And it's typical for a lot of the bluegrasses. Definitely that species is conducive just because of the root system. But it happens to quite a few different species as well. So it's always be good to be proactive with that kind of stuff. So
when it does get more July, August like, and we get some heat units going, I know the farmers don't mind that for their row crops and the alfalfa and so forth, as long as we can keep it wet.
True.
Gardens, that's also, I think, when you start seeing some pests coming in, some insects coming in and wanting to have lunch on you, right?
Absolutely. There's a host of products, both organic products that you can use to ward off bugs. There's cultural practices, maintaining good airflow, but there's a lot of different things you can do as far as applying something that you see, bugs start chewing on your veggies. There's products called 7. That's been a long-standing, standby for bug control. There's also horticultural oils that you can use, more organic. Get into the the peppermints, the pepper sprays, all that kind of stuff that those bugs do not like. You could just spray them on and feel good about not hurting yourself, not hurting the plant or anything that lands, non-target type pests. So, yeah.
And Logan was talking about some new product that is out there for deterring reptiles, snakes. Have you had any experience around that yet? I think a lot of people try it just because they hate snakes so bad, especially around your garden or around your house and so forth.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I haven't dealt with a whole lot of it, but there's products that have those pepper oils and garlic and whatever else that, for whatever reason, those snakes or rabbits or whatever rodents just, they kind of shy away from.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth a try.
It is worth a try. We've got a whole host of products that, from deer to snake to whatever, yeah.
All right. Now, the cool temperatures and the moisture we've had has been good for the grass and for things. It looks good out in the country right now. But the weeds are doing really, really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they will. And like we've always said, a strong, thick lawn is going to be a great deterrent against that. But that's not always the case on, in areas that you don't have grass or gardens or, there's a host of products that we have that will take care of that problem. There's non-selective, there's selective herbicides out there. And we do sell spades. So if you're more the manual type person who wants to get out there and wreak havoc, go for it.
Well, there are some instances, and I ran into it here the last couple of summers up at my mom's place, and I kind of watch her yard, and there were some Texas sambers, I think they were, and they started out along the alley where it's dry, and boy, and we weren't watering properly, and next thing you know, we had a yard full of that.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I'll spray it. And I sprayed it one fall, and the next year back they came. They were hard to kill. I ended up with what you're talking about. I got myself a digger and some cardboard to sit on, and I went out and dug up those all over the yard, and then the grass filled in those spots, and it worked. But I couldn't find anything other than that little spade that really took care of those.
Yeah, those are tough. There's products out there that you can actually, when you don't see them, you don't think about controlling them.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's products out there that pre-emergence, just like you would put on your lawn. It is an annual grassy weed, and it's one of the nastiest, of course. So that's something that, maybe in April or latter part of April, you could apply a pre-emergent even in areas that you don't have a lawn. Because it will inhibit those new seeds from germinating and being a problem. And that's not to say that it would be 100% effective. If we get a huge rain and stuff like that, a lot of that can get flushed out before it's used. But it's one little method to be a little bit more proactive and not have to deal with it when they're sticking on your socks.
Yeah.
And you're cussing.
A good way to put it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're kind of specific to that then. and it's like a pre-emergent for your weeds for your grass.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That's
Just
good to
like it
know.
would be for crabgrass or foxtail or any of those grassy weeds that become a problem in about this time
Okay.
in the summer. Sure.
Well, a lot of times along the alleyway, out on the edge of the grass where it's next to the curb, where it stays dry because it's hot against the cement, they'll just pop up, and
Exactly.
once they start, they really go.
Yeah, and there's products that you can have that there's Roundup, and there's also formulations with not Roundup that have actually some residual to it. So you spray it, you would kill what's there, and then you would inhibit for maybe a period of 6 to 8 weeks any new growth, just because there's some residual preventing any new growth coming up. And that's perfect for along streets, along your driveway or wherever else. And little problem areas that weeds just seem to pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think this guy knows what he's talking about.
I think he does.
I read a lot.
You've been in the seed business a long time.
Well, yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah. Let's roll over to the ag side, if you don't mind. I know
Sure.
There's probably some pasture rotation going on out there. Trying to make the most of the pastures with the late come on of the grass. You have all those supplies, I think.
Yeah, fencing. It's a huge product line with the Gallagher line. Anything that you need, whether it's going to be a little bit more semi-permanent or every 2 weeks, every week, whatever you're going to do, we've got products that will make it easy for you. It doesn't have to be a whole day's worth of switching stuff around and making adjustments here and there. That's what's nice about a product line like that. There's some flexibility.
Do a lot of people with horses utilize those methods?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little bit more intensive with cattle, of course.
Yeah.
Who has 200 head of cattle and 150 acre pasture. It's probably a little bit much for out here, but I would, especially if you have less than maybe 5 acres.
I was going to say, if
you
you're
wanna
limited
utilize.
limited on space.
Exactly.
Yeah. And horses, they never quit eating.
That's true.
If they're awake, they're eating, it seems like.
That's true.
So,
like me in college, I could never quit eating.
Yeah.
No kidding. And then where are we at? Is there still a window for cover crops?
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be we're probably going to have a little bit more movement with that stuff in August.
Okay.
when a lot of the weed acres come out. There's a lot of interseeding within actually corn later on, or some idle acres. It just kind of depends, and it really depends on the moisture.
Yeah.
Sure, we've had it a lot in the last 2 weeks, but that's not to say this next week, this next month, it could just shut off, because we've seen it before.
Yeah.
And if you went in with some cover crops right now, you're only improving that soil profile and helping preserve that moisture, because the less exposure you have to bare ground, the less transpiration you're going to have.
Yeah, and you're just talking about the faucet shutting off. That's what it did in this area last year. We got into July, and all of a sudden it just ended. And we're hoping that's not the case this year. But the cover crop sure can help, and I know you can visit with the producers out there. They probably kind of know what they would like to plant if they have the water they need, and I'm sure you can help them out.
That is true. I mean, I was kind of blown away by the amount of species that we actually have, not having been involved all that much in the cover crop in the past. But yeah, I mean, peas, mung beans, all kinds of stuff that is going to help that soil profile organically and moisture.
I heard on our ag network this week, yesterday would have been, that there was a producer that they were interviewing, a farmer, saying, I'm with the price structure right now, difficult to make if any money on a bushel of corn or soybeans. I'm more inclined to look at some alternatives. And when the market isn't favorable, it seems like people take a look at diversity a little more.
They do. It's hard, like you said, input prices have been always just a killer.
Yeah.
And there's always that tipping point. What do I do? and it has to do with a lot of the moisture issues too. If you don't believe that you can get some corn in, well, what could I do with milo, or what could I do with other forages that would help? If I have cattle or whatnot.
Yeah, especially if they have cattle.
Yeah. It's nice that there's a lot of options out there that you're not left hanging.
Yeah.
And screaming for answers and.
Yeah. Well, I think from our conversation, folks, you can tell Andre is ready to help you out in the store, and talk to producers and talk to gardeners and people who have sambers, and the list is long. And people who have birds and are looking for some bird seed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Got plenty.
All right. Did we cover everything you want to talk about today?
I think so, except maybe keep an eye on those lawn diseases with this hot, humid weather that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see, especially with some of the older stands of lawns out there, older bluegrasses in particular, you may have some summer patch, brown patch issues with this hot, humid weather. Now, these cool nights really kind of helps that, with that situation, but still, we've got a long summer ahead of us, and just it's nice to keep ahead of that. Once you start getting those diseases, it's a lot harder to catch up than being in a preventative measure. So
yeah, and it's less expensive in the long run as well.
Absolutely.
Experiencing going out and being able to pick your lawn up like a piece of carpet because of some pest that just made it that way, and you have to replant and all that sort of thing. So yeah.
But if that happens, we have grass seed. So
hey, there you go.
We do. Lots of different kinds.
We're covered on all the bases.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, news is next here on the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
To the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Families of 4 murdered Idaho College students say accused killer Brian Koberger is ready to plead guilty. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
In a letter sent to those victims' families, Koberger accepted a plea deal that would keep him in prison for the rest of his life, without the possibility of an appeal or parole.
Officials in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, say Wes Rowley had been living in his car when he set a brush fire to lure firefighters to Canfield Mountain, where he shot and killed 2 battalion chiefs. His former roommate, T.J. Franks.
I can't believe what he did. I mean, that is an absolutely disgusting thing to do.
Senators held an all-night vote-a-rama on amendments to President Trump's massive budget bill, and they're still at it. Republican Lindsey Graham.
Stick with the bill we wrote. You're going to be happy to reduce the deficit and make sure people's taxes don't go up.
Elon Musk is vowing to fund primary challenges to GOP lawmakers who do vote to pass it. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Here's a look at Nebraska news. In a story released by NCN, the Sydney Volunteer Fire Department responded to 2 separate grass fires on Saturday, including a 5-acre blaze west of town and a smaller fire in a residential area later that evening. The first fire was reported at 4:32 p.m. near 9939 Road 20 west of Sydney. Firefighters were aided by green crops in the area and were able to contain and extinguish the flames quickly. Officials say the fire, which burned approximately 5 acres, is believed to have been caused by lightning. Later that night at 10:38 p.m., firefighters were dispatched to a second grass fire near the corner of 20th Avenue and Cedar Street on the north side of Sydney. The fire was limited in size, reportedly no larger than one of the department's fast responding rigs and was extinguished before it could reach nearby cedar trees. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. No structures were damaged and no injuries were reported in either incident. This has been a Nebraska News Update. I'm Jack Simpson reporting for Central Nebraska's news source.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
NBA free agent negotiations started, and Denver is trading Michael Porter and a first-rounder to the Nets for Cam Johnson. The Memphis Grizzlies are giving Jaren Jackson a max extension. Dorian Finney-Smith leaves the Lakers for Houston. The Rockets are signing center Clint Capella. Kevon Looney left Golden State for New Orleans. Guard D'Angelo Russell agreed to a deal with Dallas. The Pittsburgh Steelers acquired All-Pro defensive back Jalen Ramsey from the Dolphins. Upsets at the FIFA Club World Cup in the round of 16, Manchester City lost in overtime. Inter Milan was beaten. In baseball, Philadelphia shut out the Padres 4-0, winning pitcher Zach Wheeler with 10 strikeouts in 8 innings. Pittsburgh shut out the Cardinals 7-0. Boston 13-6 over Cincinnati. Wilyer Abreu an inside-the-park homer and a grand slam. The Orioles won in 11 innings at Texas. Seattle beat Kansas City. Cal Raleigh with his 33rd homer.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Ample sunshine expected today with daytime highs approaching 87. Winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, lows level off around 64, partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs approaching 92. Tomorrow, bright sunshine expected. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Custer Public Power District, proud to serve over 8,000 square miles of territory with electric power. Visit custerpower.com to explore careers, pay your bill, report an outage, or connect with them. Custer Public Power District, empowering progress.
Let's go outside with Jack Simpson and find out what it really feels like. Jack, what's it like out there?
Absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining. No breeze, surprisingly. It's just perfect right now. 58 degrees outside under that sunny skies. Calm winds out of the west as of right now. Barometric pressure 3019. Humidity at 87%. No rain in the last 24 hours and no measurable precipitation for this month. High yesterday of 80. Like you said, Brent, it was a beautiful walk last night. I went on a little tiny one around town. 50 degrees for an overnight low. Sunrise today was at 6:09 and sunset today 9:15.
All right. And are you out front or out back?
I am out back.
Out back. And still no birds in the nest?
Nope. No birds
They're gone.
in the nest. Yep.
But there's no sign of them anywhere?
Nope. No snakes to report yet either.
Oh.
Sadly. I hit a couple on my way up to Atkinson, though. I kind of felt bad. Hit a few snakes.
Well, you better be careful. That could come back to haunt you.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you, Jack.
You're welcome.
That's what it really feels like. And we don't have any birds anymore. Jack hasn't hit any snakes. So that's a full update for you.
That is a full update.
Let's see here. Today is a birthday or two.
Okay.
And we're going to celebrate Fred Snyder's birthday. You know Fred?
I don't. The name does not ring a bell with me.
Okay. Fred is 74 today. And Fred is a member of the B-52s. Love Shack.
Oh, okay.
It's 8:13, and we have a doctor in the house, Brent.
We do. The doc is here.
Click Family Health Care.
Not the doctor of love, though.
No. Well, I would argue that, Dr. Jakes. I would argue that because the way you provide medicine to your patients is a lot more personal. I think there's probably some love involved there.
Well, I can tell you that I love my job,
which
there's a lot of physicians that don't, especially family physicians. But yeah, we're a beautiful day out today and happy to be here and looking forward to the rest of the summer, which seems like hit July 4th. Summer's over for the kids. So, sports physicals, starting to see more and more of those. Few camp physicals coming up. So, just trying to stay cool on these hot days.
Yeah.
Nice to got some moisture.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. We were just talking with Andre about now if we can keep the waterworks going a little better than we did last year, we'll all be happier.
Yeah, hope the good Lord doesn't shut the spigot off.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So you're ready for the physicals and that for the kids, and you're right. You get into July and you have summer camps and this, that, and the other, and have baseball going, but there's wrestling camps, basketball camps, volleyball camps, weightlifting, and all of those sorts of things.
In the church camps.
Yeah, church too.
So we've seen, like I said, we've seen quite a few of those already, but I know there's more coming up. So, really talk about that. Some reason we've seen a few sunburns, which to me is always alarming that, little 3 and 4 and 5-year-old kids get sunburned. So really want to tell parents be proactive, and not all sunscreens are created equally. So, we're finding more and more of the sunscreens that actually have some carcinogens in them. So look for more of an oil based that has some zinc oxide. Those are going to be better. The sprays, the propellants, a lot of those have been shown to be carcinogenic. So it's better to rub it on than to spray it on.
Okay.
So I tell my customers. But, and then hydration. We've seen a couple people who've just gotten overheated. Get out and, I drink tea and I drink coffee and I drink energy drinks. But, all those have caffeine, which I'll work on the kidneys to pee off the body fluid that our body needs. So water's the best. If you want to make your own little electrolyte, take a little bit of lemon juice with some pink salt and mix with water, and you've got an electrolyte. If you look back at what the ingredients of Gatorade when it was first developed versus Gatorade today, it's a completely different product. And so all of the additives and the artificial sweeteners and the sugars and all those kind of things are really not good for our kids or for us as adults.
Go back to the sun side of it, if you don't mind. I think when we think back when we were kids, because we're kind of the same age, you went out and got your first or second sunburn. You thought, well, I'll go get that sunburn taken care of, and then I'll tan and I won't get sunburn anymore. And so the whole summer we were adding more sun rays to our skin and thinking we were fine. And then we along the way somehow discovered through science that we shouldn't be in the sun all the time. We shouldn't be getting sunburn. But skin cancer leads to so many other types of cancers, does it not?
Well, it can. I mean, the biggest thing with the sunburns that you get sunburn when you're a kid is the rate you increase the risk of cancer when you're 30, 40, 50 years old. One of the biggest age groups we see skin cancer in the last 10 years has been the 23 to 30-year-old female who crawled into tanning booths. So the big thing with getting burnt when you're young is that you're typically going to develop some sort of a skin cancer as you get older. Now, there's basal cell carcinomas, there's squamous cell carcinomas, which are fairly local, so we really don't worry about those spreading, but you increase the risk of melanoma, which is the bad one, with a 5-year survival rate of 25% or 30%. So that's really what you're trying to prevent is when you're 30, 40, 50 years old. As you get older, especially if you see farmers, that have been out in the sun a lot, you see the sunspots, the solar lentigos, you see the dry patches on their arms. which are precancerous things. And not that you can prevent all of those, but just being a little proactive, wearing long sleeve shirts, wearing a wide brimmed hat, just simple things like that can help protect your skin without applying sunscreen.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes we notice cowboys that are on horses and working cattle in the middle of July have long sleeve shirts on, and it's not a style so much as it is protection, I think.
Well, it's protection, and also when we sweat and we wet the material, it helps keep us cooler than if we're wearing a T-shirt and we're sweating, because that sweat evaporates much more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think you look back at the old timers. I always think of my Uncle Ross when I used to come home in the summertime and I would combine his wheat. Always wore a long sleeve shirt, collar buttoned up, bright ham, always had gloves on. And when he rolled his shirt up at lunchtime to wash his hands, it was white as a baby's butt because it never seen the sun. And that's what he always said, that when you sweat, you keep yourself cooler by wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Mm-hmm. Dehydration really can sneak up on you too, can it?
It can. Yeah, and young kids especially are very resilient. And so they compensate, their body compensates, and then all of a sudden it doesn't. And that's when you really get into trouble with kids. Older people, we seem to we'll get a little more lightheaded, and we realize, this isn't right, we need to do something. But kids are the scary part, kids that are at the pool all day,
Mm-hmm.
not getting hydrated, or they're drinking soda or energy drinks that are increasing their dehydration and not improving it.
What about recovering from it? You get dehydrated, you get the sunstroke or whatever. The recovery process from it isn't like the next day you're just okay, right?
No, it can take up to a week to get rehydrated. Now, if you have a sunstroke, that can end in death. Because you can get hyperthermic, where your temperature goes up, and you really need to be cooled down quickly, but yet properly.
Mm-hmm.
When you get dehydrated, we can't just slam you with a lot of sodium, because then we can put you into a heart attack or atrial fibrillation or fibrillation. So we have to be really careful when somebody gets a sunstroke, when they come to the ER, of how we rehydrate them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a 15-minute deal. It can take days when you actually have a sunstroke. And I don't know whether scientifically it's been proven, but it seems like if somebody has a sunstroke or a heat stroke, they're more prone to them moving forward. And so you really have to be extra cautious with that person, or that person needs to be extra cautious as they move forward.
Yeah, boy. So we be careful. There's ways to avoid what we're talking about here, and that's what you're asking your customers, your patients to do.
Well, and farmers right now, been lucky we've gotten some moisture, but pivots are going to start running. There's nothing worse than having to walk through a half a mile of corn that's wet, mosquitoes, to get to that end tower that's the furthest away from the road that it can be when it breaks down, and it's hot, it's humid. And so we're just making sure those guys are staying hydrated. Make sure the guys that are carpenters that are out building out in the, and you look at the construction workers all up and down Highway 2 here in Broken Bow.
Yeah.
Making sure those guys stay hydrated.
And still, baseball players, softball players, hydrate. Make sure that they maybe have some dugouts with some covering on it and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so like our grandson played baseball. They finished up this last week in Omaha, and they had 5-gallon buckets with misters that mount right on them.
Oh, nice.
Which were kind of cool that they had those right in the dugout.
Yeah.
That the kids were able to, and they had coolers there with the towels that were with ice that they could wrap around their necks and get cooled off. So most youth coaches and youth parents are pretty proactive when it comes to that side of things. Sometimes the adults aren't quite so proactive when they're playing in a slow pitch softball tournament, and maybe they're partaking of some beverages that are not very hydrating.
Dr. Jacobson, I take offense that you would say softball players would drink beer.
Well, I'm not saying that I haven't done that. It's one of those been there, done that kind of things. But as I've gotten older, I played less softball, so I've drank less beer.
Yeah, same here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, we are visiting with Dr. Jacobson, Click Family Healthcare here in Broken Bow and Kearney, if you're just dialing us up. We've been talking about summer protections and taking the proper steps to stay healthy in the sun. You've got some notes there. What else did you have on your mind today?
Well, I think we're seeing quite a few people with allergies.
Yeah.
It's been a constant battle. So trying to deal with those, finding that antihistamine that works best for you. There are some natural things. Grapeseed extract's been shown to be very beneficial for people who don't want to take a pharmaceutical. Saline spray is very good just to keep those nasal passages flushed. Neti pots to flush the sinuses, those kind of things. I think driver safety, especially with corn starting to get taller at the intersections, just slow down. It seems like in the summertime we always have more auto accidents because of obstructed views at corners. So those are big things. We're seeing a little more interest in, do we do DOT physicals, CDL physicals? And we do those.
Okay.
Not only for our customers, but for other companies as well. So if you have a company or you're an individual and you need a DOT physical, we can sure help you out with that as well.
All right. The COVID situation, I did hear of someone the other day that said my spouse has COVID and is home. Are you seeing some of that?
We haven't seen any probably for about a month.
Okay.
But yeah, it's out and about. I think the thing now is people just aren't testing for it.
I think you're
so
right.
I think it's probably there. And I've said all along that COVID is going to become just like influenza. It's going to be an annual thing. It's going to be a perennial thing. So, again, from history we've learned, it really doesn't affect most people unless you've got a bunch of comorbidities like asthma or heart disease, those kind of things, which is the same with influenza. So, but I think a lot of people they're just I got a bad cold.
Yeah.
And they treat the symptoms and go about their business. But
there's nothing really, well, there's probably more aggravating things, but a summer cold really does kind of make you angry. Here you are in June or July and you have a runny nose and a sinus headache and you feel like it should be December.
And that's what we're seeing a lot of people with allergies.
Yeah.
They'll come in and I think I have a cold, and it's like, well, I think you have allergies. Oh, I've never had allergies in my life. And you look in their nose and the nasal mucosa is puffy and they got allergic shiners and their tympanic membranes are retracted. Yeah, it could be viral. But in Nebraska, summertime is typically going to be more allergic. But if you're running a fever, no, that's not allergies. That's more of a viral infection. And, the leading cause of sinus infections in the summertime is uncontrolled allergies.
Right,
so you kind of connect the dots, and you can help people keep from getting those recurrent infections if we get a little proactive and treat the symptoms forward or ahead of that.
Okay. Before we forget, let's talk a little bit about the difference between how you practice medicine and how generally practice medicine goes.
Well, the biggest thing with our model, it's called direct primary care, is that we have a direct relationship with our patients or our customers, meaning that they pay us directly. It's a membership base, can be monthly, quarterly, annually. We don't see 25 a day. I mean, in between our two clinics, we have about 965 patients right now. That's why I went out and we hired Rachel, our PA, because it was getting to where I was not able to provide the care I wanted to provide. But, we have the time to spend with our customers. So our initial appointment's always an hour. All of our follow-up appointments are always 30 minutes. We communicate with text. We communicate with video. We communicate with email as well as with phone calls. We will guarantee a same-day, next-day appointment. Now, it might be a video visit, but we will get you taken care of. And so being able to be there and have the time to just sit and listen and ask those open-ended probing questions, you find out a lot of times, because most people know they have an inkling of what's wrong with them. If you just let them talk about it and think about it, 85% of the time they'll tell you the answer. But in today's system, when you're in the healthcare system and you're seeing 25 to 28 a day, an 8-hour day, that's one every 10 to 15 minutes. You just don't have that time. And so being able to do that, I always tell people it's the difference of being able just to come in and sit down in a relaxed environment. You've been in our clinic, people walk in our clinic, the first thing I always ask them is, did you feel like you're walking into a doctor's office? And if they say no, it's like, okay, that's what we're going for, because we don't want our facility or our office to feel like they're sterile. We want people to feel comfortable, feel relaxed, because there are so many things that anxiety, depression lead to other issues. And by having time, we can kind of figure out, where are we at emotionally, where are we at spiritually, where are we at physically. Because for us to be at our best as a human being, we need to have those three seem to be somewhat aligned. And so having the time to be able to talk to people and understand what's going on in their life allows us to provide that service. One of the things I always tell people is we're trying to turn the clock back 50, 60 years. When your doctor you knew, and you knew your doctor, if you need to call your doctor after hours, they were there for you. But they also know that if they call at 4:45 on Friday, we're going to take care of them. We're not going to say, well, you need to go to urgent care, you need to go to the ER.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take care of you.
Because ER is really used across the country for that purpose as much as it is for emergencies, isn't it?
It is. And it's because nobody's there on the other end of the line. The idea of a clinic being open 8 to 5 assumes that people get sick between 8 and 5. Kids usually get sick about 10 after 5.
Or midnight.
Yeah. And so just having somebody there on the other end, just for reassurance. When I was working like in Geneva, when we had, full staff and covering the ER, most of the calls after 11 o'clock were just reassurance calls. They were not true emergencies. Mm-hmm. But if you're not there to give them reassurance, they go to the emergency room because they don't know. Yeah. Well, is this something I should be worried about? This something not? And that's where video texting comes in really handy, because, mom at 5 o'clock will text or call and say, I think my kid has pink eye. Well, pull the eyelids down, snap a couple pictures, text them to me. If it is, we'll get it. Pink eye typically is viral, but we typically prescribe antibiotics so the kid can get back into school, because schools won't let them in unless they've been on an antibiotic drop for 24 hours. So I always tell people pink eye is kind of like a cold of the eye. Yeah. It's not truly something we really need to worry about, but we typically will treat it just because so kids can get back to school. But those are the things that are different about the way we operate. Just having the time.
Well, if you're out there, folks, and you like the sounds of it, it's a monthly fee for individuals or families.
Yep. So kids 18 and under with an adult are $20 a month. 19 to 44 is $60 a month. 45 to 64 is $85. Over 65 is $110. And if you pay for a year, you get 1 month free. So you pay for 11 months, you get the 12th month free if you do the annual thing. Otherwise, we can do it monthly. And it's kind of like a gym membership. You put a credit card or debit card on file, and just every month on the 1st, 15th, or the 20th, it runs. So you pay whether we see you or not. But when you come see us, then you don't have to pay a copay or other things. The only time you pay more is if we do more. So if we were to draw blood. But we draw blood at our cost. So we charge $10 to stick the needle in your arm, and then you pay essentially what I pay for the lab test. We just round them up to the next dollar. So our basic lab panel is $50, which if you go anywhere, it's going to be $350 to $700 if you're filing insurance, those kind of things. One of the biggest benefits I think our model affords people is helping them become a cash pay patient, because when you pay cash, all of a sudden the cost comes down exponentially. So I always use the example of an MRI without contrast. So if you hurt your knee, you come in, we do an exam, we think you need an MRI. If you walk in the two hospitals in Kearney, they're going to bill your insurance about $3,000 for an MRI without contrast. If you buy it up front, it's going to cost you $485.
That's absurd.
It is.
Really,
it's asinine.
It is.
But that's the problem. And you get your EOB from your insurance company. They say, oh, geez, Dave, we did a really great job. We negotiated that down to $2,400. But if you have a $5,000 deductible, you're going to pay $2,400. Or I could pay $485.
Just do it.
And get the same information and save, $2,000 or $1,900. So by becoming cash pay, even if you have insurance, some people have the misnomer that I have health insurance, so I cannot go see Click Family Healthcare. We have more people with insurance than without, but they're typically high deductible plans. So we're providing that care under that deductible, and you have your health insurance for catastrophic. Because again, if it's a $3,000, $5,000, $7,000 deductible, for most of us that's a catastrophic policy. Yeah. We're not relying on a $5,000 deductible to be So many people think, well, gosh, at the end of the year, my deductible's fulfilled. I need to go get this done because the insurance is going to pay for it. No, you're paying for it. It's not the insurance company not paying anything. They're just a middleman shuffling the money and taking their piece of the pie as it goes through their hands. And so that's one of the things that we really try to talk to our customers about is the advantage of being a cash pay. We have insurance is about 45 to 55% of our customers. Then the next is the share plans, so MediShare, Sedera, those. And then we have about 10% of our customers that they have no insurance, they have no catastrophic backup. We're all they have for healthcare. And so, which is scary in today's world. But it's just a cool model that we can provide care for people. I mean, we have about 45 companies that pay us the monthly membership to take care of their employees. So their employees can come see us. It doesn't cost them anything. Well, if you're in Kearney and you wait, okay, I'm going to go to urgent care. It's $190 to walk in the door at urgent care. Yeah. If they do draw blood, again, you're going to pay that retail price, not the wholesale price, what we charge. So you may walk out of there with a $300, $400, $500 bill. Well, if your employer is paying your membership, you come see us, doesn't cost you anything. We draw blood, it's going to cost you $50 typically at most. And then if we dispense some medicine in Kearney, we don't do that here in Broken Bow. We do that at our cost as well. So you take a $500 bill and you drop it down to $40. That's a huge advantage for employees.
Big difference.
And so that's one of the things we see a lot. We're seeing more and more employers that are reaching out to us. And now that I have Rachel, I want to get out and start talking to more people, especially here in the Broken Bow community, the business people, about what we can offer their employees, because it's tough being an employer to try to offer benefits that are a benefit. I mean, you can offer health insurance as an employer to your employees, but all you're offering them is health insurance. You're not offering them health care. And in fact, I have a T-shirt that I made when we first opened that says health insurance is not health care. Health insurance is a payment mechanism to get health care. Share plans are a payment mechanism to get health care. Paying me a monthly membership is a mechanism to get health care, but I'm the only one providing health care.
Okay.
Not insurance doesn't do it, share plans don't do it, we're doing it. And that's the big difference is we're the ones there on the front line. When you have health insurance and you go to see your doctor, who's paying the bill? Who's the doctor working for? not for you as the customer. They're working for the insurance company because they're dictating what. Now you take that out of the mix, and you're taking money out of your pocket, or Dave or Brent's taking money directly out of his pocket and paying me every month. Who am I working for? I'm working for you guys.
Yeah.
So I don't have the middleman. It's you and I deciding what your health care is going to be. And I never will tell my customers what to do. My job is to educate. These are options. These are things we look at. You make that final decision because everybody's different. Some people want to take medicine. Some people don't want to take medicine. Some people want all the tests in the world. Some people want no tests. So we develop a plan that what our customers want. And that's, to me, that's a huge difference between what we do and what I used to be able to do when I was in the fee-for-service world.
Okay. Click Family Healthcare right here in Broken Bow and Kearney. Here in Broken Bow, when can they come see you? I guess walk through the door.
We're open 8 to 5,
okay.
Monday through Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Wednesday, we're just there till noon. That may change a little bit as we get Rachel up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're 4.5 days a week. I come up Monday at noon, spend the night, go back Tuesday at noon, come up Thursday at noon, spend the night, go back Friday at noon. So I'm here typically 4.5 days a week. But again, if somebody needs to be seen, Wendy or Christy will bring them in the clinic and we do a video visit. So I'm there able to interview you on your phone or video, and my nurses can do the exam for me because I've trained them what to look for. And so we're able to take care of you even though I'm not sitting right there next to you.
Okay. And we don't know what's going to happen in the future with Medicare and Medicaid, with what's going on politically. So we can't really even talk about that because we don't know exactly what's going to happen as yet. But that could change the atmosphere a little bit down the road, depending on what happens.
I think it could. To be honest, I don't think there's probably going to be a lot that's going to happen.
Yeah.
But like for me to see a Medicare patient, I had to opt out of Medicare because you can't charge a Medicare patient a fee for a covered service. Well, an office visit is considered a covered service. So in order for me to take care of Medicare patients, I had to opt out of Medicare. So it's kind of an oxymoron, but that's the way it
really is.
Medicaid, the biggest issue we run into Medicaid, we have a few customers that have Medicaid, is if they need medicines or testing, because I'm not in network with Medicaid,
mm-hmm.
Medicaid doesn't want to pay for that test and medicine. So I had three insulin-dependent diabetics that we had them the best control they'd ever been, and Medicare wouldn't pay for their insulin, so they had to find a new doctor.
This world is not, like we said, this world is spinning out of control.
Well, you just got to follow the money.
Yeah, I know.
Follow the money.
That's exactly.
And that's why I don't expect to see a lot of change in Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah.
There's too much political power wrapped up in the PACs and these dark groups, these NGOs, all those kind of things that most people didn't even know they existed.
Yeah.
And they're really in the background controlling
pulling
your
the
life and my life.
Yeah, pulling the strings. Thanks for coming in. It's always fun having you in. And
before you go, throw out your website, because I know that's a great place to find more information.
Yeah, clickfamilyhealth.com. And it's a great place. I think we have a really nice website that has a lot of information there. And I always tell people, go there first because it'll stimulate more questions.
Yeah.
But I met with a lady yesterday afternoon, and we spent about a half hour together just talking about what we do, how we do it. And she hadn't been on our website, but I recommend that she go look at it.
Good.
Okay. Mark Stock will be in shortly. Stay tuned. That's coming up next.
Aero Aviation, your aerial application provider. We're always there. Your trusted source, right on course, flying through the air. Aero Aviation, the leader in the field.
Join me, Chad Dolan of Reynolds Auction and Realty on July 18th at 7 p.m. for the annual Kearney Cruise Night Classic Car Auction. Want to buy or sell a classic car or truck? Do it this year at Kearney Cruise Night. Nationwide live internet bidding, great food and cold drinks in the air-conditioned building at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. Just $2 admission and a lot of fun and entertainment for the whole family. To consign your car or truck now, give us a call at 308-832-2444 or check us out at rentalsauction.highbid.com. We'll see you at the sale.
Good Tuesday morning, everybody. Mark Stock here with Big Iron Auction Company. Tomorrow on Big Iron, we're going to sell some campers. So if you're looking to have some fun over the 4th of July weekend, check out the triaxle fifth wheel camper that's selling in North Platte, Nebraska. There's a Coleman fifth wheel camper that has some slide outs on it that will sell out of Laramie, Wyoming. There's also a Forest River Cardinal travel trailer that's got a couple different slide outs. That one's located in Missouri. They'll sell to the highest bidder here on Big Iron tomorrow. In fact, 62 different sellers will be selling some items on the Big Iron weekly Wednesday sale. The first items will start to close at 9 o'clock Wednesday morning. There are really nice pieces of ag machinery, some John Deere combines. Here's a 9870 combine selling. A John Deere 8870 four-wheel drive tractor will sell. A Case IH Patriot 4430 self-propelled sprayer will be on this auction. A 2016 year model Caterpillar D6T XW dozer with a ripper. That will sell out of Wyoming. A 2020 Kubota M6 141 mechanical front tractor with a loader will sell on a retirement sale in Fandro, South Dakota. There's also a telescoping wheel loader. It's a 2023 Schaefer machine that will sell on that same retirement sale. We have day cab semi-trucks. There are flatbed dump trucks. There's even a hard-to-find John Deere 7000 Series 6-row 30-row crop planter. A Flexicoil 5000 air seeder with a cart will sell out of Idaho. There's a Crustbuster grain drill that will sell out of Wyoming. We have a wide variety of heavy-duty service vehicles and pickup trucks selling. Ron Thompson in Norfolk, Nebraska will sell a 2016 year model Caterpillar 259 compact track loader. A 2006 year model Challenger SP 115B self-propelled windrower will sell in Maurice, Iowa. A 2023 Vermeer B2800 twin rake will sell. We'll also be conducting the Larry Fox retirement sale. Items located by Richmond, Kansas, including a Krause 18-foot double offset disc, a 1980 John Deere 4640 tractor, and an Oliver 550 utility two-wheel drive tractor. A 1994 Midland triaxle belly dump trailer will sell out of Norton, Kansas. 5S Land and Cattle from Elmenia, Kansas will sell a Case IH MX 230 mechanical front tractor. They have a 1999 Kenworth W900L semi-truck tractor, plus a Montezuma tree saw. Central Community College in Hastings, Nebraska will be selling an International 7500 Series tandem axle dump truck, and they have several enclosed van trailers selling. In Lexington, Nebraska, 2011 Polaris XP800 high output 4x4 UTV will sell. There's a great selection of irrigation power units. There's hay equipment and livestock handling and moving equipment selling on this sale. Please do your due diligence today, as this online auction, once again, is tomorrow, July the 2nd. First items closing at 9 o'clock in the morning. We do want to wish everybody a very safe and happy 4th of July. If you're celebrating the 4th of July with friends and family and the topic is brought up about having excess equipment or maybe even selling some real estate, have them reach out to the Big Iron rep in their area. Just call us at toll-free number 1-800-937-3558. That's 1-800-WE-SELL-8. Or you can go to bigiron.com and click on the Sell Your Items buttons. Once again, have a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. Thanks for using Big Iron.
Waking up with The Breakfast Show, KCNI, KBBN Radio.
I love it. The Gas Up the Good Life giveaway has rolled out with nearly $2,000 in Trotters Woe and Go cards waiting for lucky winners. Tune in to KCNI and KBBN every day at 9:30 and 3:30 to catch the daily code words. Enter them online at sandhillsexpress.com for your shot at winning. Want even more chances? Keep an eye out for our parade card or find us at local events. Bonus codes could pop up anywhere, whether it's $1,000 or $500. Someone's winning, but it won't be you unless you enter. Powered by Trotters, Woe and Go, and Broken Bow, Sargent, Myrna, and beyond. It's time to gas up the good life.
There's only one way to celebrate the 4th of July, loud and proud. You'll find them east of the downtown Trotters location in Broken Bow and at Longhorn Lanes in Burwell. Just look for the red, white, and blue trailer. Inside, you'll find fireworks that will bring plenty of oohs and ahs with their colors and their bang. From snappers and sparklers to the biggest booms in the sky, a portion of sales goes to support the Broken Bow Lions Club and the Broken Bow Fire Department. Loud and Proud Fireworks in Broken Bow and Burwell, open every day. Be sure to follow them on Facebook. Loud and Proud Fireworks, where all mullets are welcome.
Do you know who invented slow motion?
Who invented slow motion? I have no idea. I don't know who came up with the concept. My guess would be it's a television person.
Yes, it is. You got that right.
Okay.
That part's right. But you'd be surprised. Slow motion was really something when you first saw it on TV.
Yeah.
Like during a professional football game, I think that would be one of the first places you would notice it, maybe even in car racing when there was an accident or something like that. But no, the real, and Jack, I want you to pay attention to this, young man. I'm going to teach you something here. The person who really made slow motion an everyday thing was Pamela Anderson.
Oh. Taking us back to the days of Baywatch, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She she made it happen, made slow motion running on a beach so popular that slow motion became really, really big.
Uh-huh.
She is 58 today, by the way.
Oh, wow,
It's
okay.
her birthday. Baywatch star who single-handedly made slow motion running a thing across the beach.
Yes. Did you ever watch Baywatch? I mean, have you ever sat down and watched an entire episode of Baywatch from beginning to end?
No.
Okay, me either.
But I did make a radio skit out of it years ago.
You did?
Yeah. I can't remember exactly how I did it, but I was...
Is there video out there of you running in slow motion on the beach?
No.
Oh.
No,
I was going to say, I've got to see this.
I was promoting the Baywatch calendar.
The Baywatch calendar?
There was a calendar, and I went, overboard on it. And for weeks, I was promoting the Baywatch calendar.
I see.
I think I actually was recognized at a chamber banquet for promoting Baywatch.
But she's what again? 58
yes,
today?
58, still running.
Oh, okay.
Slowly. Perfectly. We'll be right back.
The music to get your day started right.
I listen every morning.
The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
Power Solutions is your one-stop diesel shop. Efficient and reliable work you can count on. From fixing major breakdowns to simple repairs or picking up parts needed. Power Solutions is here to keep your diesel pickups and trucks on the road. From in-house repairs to field calls, they are here supporting our local area. Power Solutions, located 2 miles east of Broken Bow, Nebraska on Highway 2. 308-872-5522.
The right approach to care makes all the difference. And at Broken Bow Dental, that means staying true to the values that matter most to this community. Dr. Casey McLeod and her team build lasting relationships, knowing every patient by name. She also listens, making certain your treatment is the right fit. And with advanced technology, the team at Broken Bow Dental streamlines care, completing procedures in fewer visits so you can get back to what matters most. Located right off Highway 2 in Broken Bow, Dr. McLeod's practice is now accepting patients. Better, brighter, Broken Bow Dental.
Happy 4th of July from your friends at Varney Pharmacy in Broken Bow. They wish you a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. Varney Pharmacy will be closed on the 4th and the 5th so that their staff can enjoy time with friends and family as well. Whether you're grilling out, putting fireworks in the sky, or having a family board game night, happy 4th of July from Varney Pharmacy in Broken Bow. Contact them to plan ahead for your prescriptions for the holiday.
Well, we have a dilemma here on the show. I'll tell you right now the honest truth. But I can't get the Jenny M. Malham Hospital ad to play this morning. So I'd like to, I think we can just do one live.
Oh, okay.
And I know that Mr. Kellum will be okay with it.
Huh.
The administrator up there. I'll start, and maybe you can finish.
Okay.
Jenny M. Melham Hospital have one of the most wonderful generators that you can lay your eyes on that generates electricity when the power's out. It's so important because you have to have electricity in a hospital. What if you're in surgery and the power goes out? You got to have power. So trust me, I've gotten a tour of that area, and it's a big diesel honking engine they test all the time, and it's ready to go. The other part about the hospital I think that should be highlighted is, again, their hot tub. They have a fabulous hot tub, and you can view it if you go down the hall where a lot of the patient rooms are. It's on the right if you're headed east, and you'll see says hot tub room or something like that. Probably says something else, but you can see it in there, and it's tempting just to go hop in it. Go ahead, Brent.
I don't know. I don't know where to pick up after that. Well, things that you talked about. You can walk into Jenny M. Melham Memorial Medical Center with confidence that you'll be taken care of through the facility, by the facility, but most importantly by the people who work in the facility.
Great people. Very nice. Very good
Thanks.
job. Yeah. I hope that suffices for a 30-second ad.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, maybe we'll get it fixed and play it later.
Sounds good. Oh, someone looking at you?
Come in, Christy.
Hi, Christy. Come on in. Nope. Well, we know whose account this is.
Oh, it's Christy's. What's that?
Hi, Christy.
It looks good. I don't understand.
Well, and I've tried to play it twice. Let me try it again.
I don't think it's anything you did. It's just Christy's like, well, no, I've not made a mistake since I've worked here. It's nothing I did.
I just don't understand.
I don't either.
That's right. It's Ellie that did it yesterday.
Oh, well, let me try it again.
Oh, did Ellie come in and voice the ad? Oh, that's nice.
I saw her come in, so I believe you. But let me push the button here. No, it just turned red. So I don't know what's going on.
We'll look into it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we're good because we did a live read.
Yeah.
It's not a problem. And if you want to, when you go to the hospital, you can pretend you're Pamela Anderson.
Yes.
And go slowly down the hall.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Okay. Another birthday today.
All right. Who's celebrating?
Celebrated Fred's with the B-52s. Pamela Anderson. And now it's time to celebrate Dan Aykroyd's birthday.
Oh, Dan Aykroyd. Wow, great.
Dan is 73 today, actor, comedian. Got his start on Saturday Night Live and is also one half of the legendary Blues Brothers and one of the original Ghostbusters.
Uh-huh.
And he was also a host for the blues show that was aired on KBBN for probably 10 years that was syndicated across the country.
Yeah, the House of Blues, and he hosted that as his character, Elwood. Elwood Blues.
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
This
is the biggest tax cut in history. Everything is the biggest in history. It's the best bill we've ever had.
Victims' families say accused killer Brian Kohberger will plead guilty to murdering 4 University of Idaho college students to spare himself the death penalty. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti.
There are a few legal steps left. In the state of Idaho, a judge does have the authority to reject a plea deal, but it is considered incredibly rare.
The juries resumed deliberations at Sean Combs' sex trafficking trial in New York, a day after they sent the judge a note about one person on their panel. CBS's Alice Gaynor.
They said they were concerned that this juror cannot follow your Honor's instructions. Can you speak with him?
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
Discover the 4th of July sale at Target. Save 20% on clothing and swimwear for women, select cookies with Target Circle, and up to 50% off Sun Squad sporting goods. Get ready for a fireworks-worthy celebration with patriotic cookies, fun sports gear, and of course, spectacular fits. The deal's end July 5th, so hurry and get 20% off apparel, select cookies with Target Circle, and 50% off Sun Squad sports gear, only at Target. Restrictions apply.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Steve DeSager.
NBA free agent negotiations started, and Denver is trading Michael Porter and a first-rounder to the Nets for Cam Johnson. The Memphis Grizzlies are giving Jaren Jackson a max extension. Dorian Finney-Smith leaves the Lakers for Houston. The Rockets are signing center Clint Capella. Kevon Looney left Golden State for New Orleans. Guard D'Angelo Russell agreed to a deal with Dallas. The Pittsburgh Steelers acquired All-Pro defensive back Jalen Ramsey from the Dolphins. Upsets at the FIFA Club World Cup in the round of 16, Manchester City lost in overtime. Inter Milan was beaten. In baseball, Philadelphia shut out the Padres 4-0, winning pitcher Zach Wheeler with 10 strikeouts in 8 innings. Pittsburgh shut out the Cardinals 7-0. Boston 13-6 over Cincinnati. Wilyer Abreu an inside-the-park homer and a grand slam. The Orioles won in 11 innings at Texas. Seattle beat Kansas City. Cal Raleigh with his 33rd homer.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Ample sunshine expected today with daytime highs approaching 87. Winds out of the south, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance of thunderstorms. Tonight, lows level off around 64, partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs approaching 92. Tomorrow, bright sunshine expected. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Chapin's Furniture is so much more than a furniture store. Inside, you'll find an amazing selection of home decor, jewelry, accessories, flooring, mattresses, and more. Truly a total home design store. Chapin's Furniture, on the square in Broken Bow.
9:04, 69 degrees outside under a sunny sky. Wind's not a factor so far. Barometric pressure steady at 3019. Humidity at 74%. High yesterday, 80, with an overnight low of a cool 50. No measurable precipitation on this first day of July. We ended up about at 5 inches and 5.5 inches for the month of June. Just a little over that. 556, I believe it was. So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, very good. Very good. 69 under a sunny sky. Again, stay tuned. At the end of the show, we're going to give you a chance to, well, listen for the code, right? And that means you can take that code, that word, and enter it on Sandals Express on the contest page and get yourself a chance to win a $1,000 gas card or a $500 gas card or a $50 gas card to be used at Trotters Woe and Go. And you can also listen at 3:30 today on both of our radio stations for that code word as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting ready to go to Comstock.
Okay.
And they have a 4th of July celebration ready for you folks to take the whole family to.
Yeah, it's a celebration on the 4th that has been going on for many years in Comstock, Nebraska.
So we'll get more details here in just a bit. Keep it right here.
John here with Lashley Land and Recreational Brokers, informing you that now might be the best time to get a value for your recreational land that's really not adding to your bottom line. That's right, your land could be of major interest for that person looking for quality deer hunting, waterfowl hunting, or whatever the recreation is. Call me, John Farley, and take advantage of a time with very little inventory on the market. I would be happy to give you a no-obligation opinion of value. Check me out at LashleyLand.com.
Long days and more time outdoors in the summer months can lead to sun damage on skin. Melham Medical Center wants to make sure you have fun and stay safe by applying sunblock regularly and consistently while working or playing outdoors. Be sure to take frequent shade breaks and wear a hat if you plan to be out in the sun for a long duration. When you have a need for quality medical care, get it close to home at Melham Medical Center in Broken Bow. Large enough to serve, small enough to care.
Thank you, Ellie. All right, we're going to go to Comstock in just a moment, but before we do that, Brent would like to thank the sponsors making the upcoming broadcast possible.
I want to say thanks to these businesses supporting our special remote broadcast to promote the Comstock 4th of July Festival coming up. And our sponsors for today's remote include Custer Public Power District, always happy to support the communities in which they serve. Doggett Tree Service, proud supporters of the Sons of the American Legion and Legion Riders. Call Casey Doggett for any tree removal needs, 308-870-3312. Creekac Ranch and Trucking, proud supporters of Comstock 4th of July and hope to see you on the 4th. Call Cody for your cattle hauling needs, 308-730-2262. Trotter's Woe and Go, Trotter Fertilizer in Sargent, welcoming you to Comstock, hoping you have a great weekend and a great 4th of July. And this is a big one. Santa.
Oh, gee.
Santa is sponsoring the remote from Comstock.
Thank you, Santa Claus.
Santa and the Comstock Community Christmas Lights with over 437 inflatables. Comstock lights up every Christmas, so mark your calendar and don't miss the magic this year.
All right, thank you, sponsors. Folks, let's go to Comstock and find out more. Here's Jeremy.
All right, thank you very much, Dave. Yes, we are in Comstock, and thank you to all of those sponsors, folks, that you heard that are making it possible for us to be here this morning, learning all about the Comstock 4th of July. And we're in the village, you call it the village office, right? Village of Comstock office. And that's where we're broadcasting from this morning. And right outside of this door and throughout Comstock, there's going to be all sorts of fun going on this upcoming 4th of July, which is right around the corner. 4th of July being at the beginning of the month, Debbie, it always kind of sneaks up pretty quick, doesn't it?
It does, especially this month or this year. For some reason, it's really just snuck up on us. But it's one of those things where everyone shows up when they're supposed to, and it all comes together, and it always turns out fun for everybody. So.
And Debbie, what's your position here at Comstock? What's your title?
I'm actually the village clerk.
Okay.
Village of Comstock. So.
Okay, and introduce this gentleman to your right, if you would.
Okay, so this is Bob Drake, and he's the staple for the community club. He's a ramrod guy for all of the happenings for community club, which takes care of the 4th of July celebration is the big deal, and then we also do the Christmas event and the Easter egg hunt. So
great. Well, thanks for being here, Bob. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. My job pretty much consists of getting volunteers to do all these other jobs, and Deb's been one that we really rely on.
Great. Well, these events don't just, as much as everyone kind of sometimes wishes they would, you don't just wake up and all of a sudden they're happening. It takes volunteers, and it takes a community coming together. And I think it's particularly impressive that Comstock just continues to present itself for these events as a community that has a population way larger than it actually is, because people come back and they support things like this. And I'm sure you're both really excited for this upcoming weekend.
Yes, it's always the big thing, our 4th of July. When you line people up for 3 blocks of Main Street, why, it's it's important.
Yeah.
Great. Well, there's an awesome schedule of events that are coming forward on the 4th of July, and folks, we're going to give you a rundown of all of them. And it all starts, this has kind of become a good tradition in a lot of different communities, something to get the blood flowing, for lack of a better term. You start the morning by getting active with your fellow neighbor. And you were talking before we went on the air about the road race and the folks that are organizing that and putting that together. Great way to start the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's exciting because the Zoe is heading that up, and she's got a way of there's a link and people sign up, so that's really exciting to see young people stepping up and doing some activities.
Yeah, and the register link, if you folks are wanting to sign up, is comstockroadrace.racewire.com. And they were taking registrations through June 23rd. I'd imagine there's going to be some great participation in that, and that gets things started. And if that wasn't enough of a little bit of a workout and a good way to get the day started, sand volleyball I know is big in a lot of communities, and probably hoping to have a really good turnout for the sand volleyball tournament right after that.
They'll be playing by 8 o'clock.
They'll be playing by 8. Okay. So get over there early if you're wanting to play. And I think what a lot of communities say is that, if you have a desire to play, go over there. Maybe they can find you a rotation in on a team or something like that if you'd like to give it a try. I'm sure that's kind of the case.
Don Bruja is the go-to fella for that volleyball.
Okay.
Yep, they get their teams together, and they get pretty competitive.
That's
about
what I was going to ask.
So
what's the competitive level? It kind of seems like a lot of the time everyone there's this underlying, it'll be a good time, and that's what it is ultimately, but you still want to win.
Yeah, they do have a good time, and it's an all-day deal. The long perseverance and getting through the games, I think takes a little bit, but they get their teams together, and a lot of times they are teams or friends that played volleyball through the years, so it's kind of fun to watch.
Great. And Dawn's number is 308-215-8053 if you folks have any questions about the sand volleyball tournament. Silent auction going on at the Den. I know that the Den is a very important part of the Comstock community, and they would love to see folks over there. I would venture to guess the Den is going to be open kind of maybe mid to late morning and into the afternoon before that silent auction closes at 3.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good estimate.
Okay. So I'm sure if you head over there maybe at least afternoon, you'll have a few hours to get in on that silent auction.
Yeah, I think she usually shuts it down around 3, I want to say, 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And then they, do have the pie and ice cream, the homemade ice cream. And, they do a really good job of serving this community and the area up. Even Sargent and Arcadia, they do Meals on Wheels. So we appreciate having that available.
Talk just a smidge, if you would, about, for people that are not familiar with the Den, the different things that they do and what they bring to the community. They do a wide variety of things.
Yeah, they offer mainly, they have a menu, and so they have a meal every day. And then they also just received a blood pressure cuff machine. That's the type where, I guess I don't know the terminology for it, but it's the type you sit down and then you can get a good reading. And they offer, I think they still do the toenail clinic.
Yes.
And then, I guess that's about all I can think of.
All kinds of things.
Meals on Wheels, I guess. I think I already mentioned that. But yeah, they do. They've done a good job of trying to be a good resource for the community in a lot of ways.
And as we all know, it's good to support those resources in our communities. So that's a great opportunity for you folks to come in and participate at the silent auction at the Den. Again, that closes down at 3 o'clock. And then the parade the way we were. I really like that theme. It kind of gives you a good option for different ways that you can go about decorating a float or a vehicle that you want to drive through. And I'm sure, like a lot of communities, the important thing is if you want to participate.
Yeah.
You don't have to have something big and fancy, and it doesn't have to be a Rose Bowl parade float. Just come out and have some fun, right?
Oh, yes. And Deb and her husband, Sterling, are the ones lining up the parade, and we appreciate their efforts to do that.
I know that all the communities that have parade lineups really appreciate the folks that line the parade up, because it's sometimes a tall task, and looks like lineup starts at 9:30. Where are you wanting people to go, Deb, to kind of get lined up for the parade?
So we line up at this the South Street of Comstock and the southeast corner, basically, all the way southeast corner of Comstock, and we just line them up on that clear, I guess the street that's a clear east side of the village. And so for people to come in and line up, you just just head south along the park, probably be able to still go there, or there'll be maybe some flags up, but if there are, then just say we need to get through and head down to that southeast corner.
Okay.
And then we just line you up along that street, and we'll get you taken care of. And it's really fun to see people show up that morning and get their floats put together. And the judging starts at 9:30, parade at 10:30, and so there are prizes. First, second, third place cash prizes, and there is a grand prize as well. So,
wow.
And then we have the categories for you for each person, or for each themed, or not theme, but if you decorate for the theme, then you have a higher chance of getting some money. So.
Okay, awesome. And it starts at 10:30, and if people want to watch, Main Street is the place to go, I would venture to guess.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, a lot of people line up. A lot of people down here on Main Street, but majority down in the park area too. So.
Sure. Okay, great. Heard a lot of lawnmowers going this morning when we drove into town. So everyone's kind of getting ready for the weekend, aren't they? Got to knock that grass down and get ready for all the 4th of July fun, I'm sure. Great.
Yes, we are kind of to the stage where it's kind of scrambling, and just to get everything in, and also try to get everything done before it gets too hot in the afternoon, I guess. So
that is part of the key, isn't it? You've got to find that sweet spot, usually mid to late morning, get it done before the heat of the day.
Yeah.
Nice thing is, when the heat of the day hits on the 4th of July, you kind of be going toward the noon hour. Delicious barbecue meal waiting for everyone at the community hall. And then you mentioned the pie and ice cream with lunch at the den as well. So no reason to be having an empty stomach in Comstock on the 4th.
No, the barbecue meal at the community club has always been really, really good. Carl from up at Sargent, the Corner Market, has been very generous in the past and over the years of helping us out with donating partial donation of the meat. And actually, my sister-in-law has always made homemade coleslaw for that meal, which always is a big hit. So we're very fortunate to have people that are willing to do that type of thing. And then with the den, the ladies there, they volunteer homemade pie and make homemade ice cream. So that's just kind of a neat, nostalgic treat that you can experience on the 4th of July. And Comstock is, for me personally, has always been that. I moved out here in 97, and I think I've been lining the parade up ever since. So, but it's always neat to see the 4th of July is kind of like the way we were. I mean, we do have celebrations, like the kids races, and it's all ages, 0 to 100, I think, Bob, right?
Yeah.
And we've seen people beat people out. I think your brother that one year beat out the 30-year-olds.
Strange things happen.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I like that you mentioned the way we were when it comes to the kids' races and things like. People have been tossing eggs in the air between each other for decades, and sometimes you just can't replace memories like that. And we've got a whole new generation of kids that are making memories, tossing an egg back and forth and smashing an egg on the face of their brother or sister or friend. And that's those are memories that they'll hold on to for a long time. You just can't beat some of those traditions, can you?
The park's a busy place in the afternoon with all the races going on, and we do rely on the Ritz family a lot, and Bryce Ritz is one to line up the races and tell them go.
Every race needs a starter, doesn't it?
Yep.
Great. So you've got the kids races, the egg toss, the penny shower, and then kind of a crowd favorite, the turtle races. That's all at 1:30
Oh, yes.
in the park, right?
Yeah, the tennis court there is a good place for the turtles.
Great. Okay. So that gets us into the afternoon, and you were talking about the cornhole tournament. That's going to be going on. $20 registration per team. I'm sure it's kind of like the sand volleyball tournament. Pretty competitive, I would venture to guess. There's a lot of good cornhole players all across Nebraska. That
It's really caught on.
It really has caught on, and sounds like we've got a couple of folks that are keeping that tradition going. It's been going for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a new addition, and I'm really excited about it. Like I said, I'm just really excited and thankful to see younger kids step up to the plate and just kind of do new things, because I would never have thought of doing a cornhole tournament. And there again, it's pretty competitive. I think she has got some... she's ironed out some of the kinks, and I think they got it down to a science this year. And they have, it's going to be set up over there on the ball field.
Okay.
And they got all the boards are going to be here I rented from a guy over by St. Paul, maybe. I can't remember even who it was, but I'm excited to see that happening. And it's neat to, like I said, just to see new things. And
yeah, that'll be a fun place for everyone. And even if you're too nervous to go out there and compete and throw cornhole, you can go and watch. I'm sure that'll be highly entertaining as well.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it is really neat to get some younger people taking a hold and some jobs we don't have to do. And it draws quite a crowd.
Great, and it looks like there will be a sausage shop there as well. Moshka's sausage shop going to be at the ballpark as well.
Yep. We used to always have just a snack shack open, but we know the times have changed with, we don't have the 4-H groups or the youth groups anymore that have the means or time to do those snack shack things. So that's one thing that's have changed as well. We've brought in a food truck of sorts. Something different every year. And I'm kind of excited to have Moshka's here this year, because I know, I buy their brats and dogs down, she has it in her store down in Arcadia, and so at the lumber yard there. So yeah, it's kind of going to be a neat thing. And so yeah, I think they just bring in their food truck, and that's kind of caught on everywhere. I think I just see them on the square and in these the towns, and you got the taco truck and the walking tacos, and so that's something that's kind of a new thing.
Yeah, it's exciting to see it happen. And the nice thing is, once you get to the afternoon and you're at the ballpark, it looks like the activities kind of continue at the ballpark on into the afternoon. And as you approach dark for the fireworks at the end of the day, we know what the fun activities and ball games are that are planned out at the park in the evening, or just a fun place for everyone to gather.
Well, the people responsible for the ball games told me it's all set. That's all I know.
Okay, it's all set.
There's going to be ball games.
Yeah.
And we thought there might be a chance to have some olders play a ball game, and And they said, we don't have to. So
we were wanting to get them to play a 60 and older. Is that what they said, Bob?
yeah, something like
60
that.
and older T-ball game, because the other activities that's going on this weekend is we're doing the alumni banquet Saturday the 5th. And so we thought, well, how about have that alumni T-ball game, but then after that, a lot of times we'll have, we used to have like the Legion team, some of the teams come in. That's something that's changed over the years, hasn't it, Bob? We don't really have the teams that we used to have. And so it's kind of a different thing, but we're getting teams together. A lot of times we'll call our connections down in Arcadia. I think one year we had the old Comstock families came together and they were here for a reunion, so we had families play. Sometimes
Great.
Local families get teams together, and that's kind of fun to watch.
It's kind of a schoolyard feel to it. You just kind of throw the two teams together and go out there and accomplish a game and then move on to the next one. And you got a couple of hours to fill because it doesn't get dark until well into the 9 o'clock hour.
So it's just exciting to have somebody take a hold and say the ball games are all set, and I have no clue who's going to be playing.
I don't either.
But
I hope my husband does. That's kind of his job.
The job is done.
Yep, he did. He got contacted, made some connections, and so yeah, we'll have fun doing that. And for fireworks, a lot of times the kids will take their blankets and go out and sit on the field, the outfield of the ball park there, and we've got an awesome Comstock rescue and fire team. We're very fortunate to have them in our community. They've stepped up to the plate, not only for doing the fireworks show, which is amazing. They've made a few trips out to our house a few times to put some fires out. So they're Johnny on the spot when you need them, and they're very, very diligent, and they're good at what they do. And so we do appreciate them for doing
Another person we
show.
rely on a lot is Perry Erickson, the fire chief, and he just gets a hold of the fireworks and gets it all lined up. So we don't know anything about it till they fire them off.
There you go. And right around dark is when that'll happen. But the outfield of the ballpark is the place to be.
Yes.
Yep. That's where you need to be.
Okay, great. And that's full 4th of July day. Again, we're in Comstock, folks. 4th of July here in Comstock is the place to be. And that takes us into Saturday, where it's kind of an alumni welcoming. And I know that this is always a popular day with all of the day's events. Looks like it'll be a really good time. I'm particularly interested in this opening of the time capsule. That sounds pretty cool.
Well, yes, it is. We've done it every 5 years for, I don't know, 20.
25.
I'm not sure when we
25
first
years.
buried the time capsule, but we'll be digging that up. And
so this time capsule has been, it'll be open from when? When was it put together?
I think 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
When we first put it in.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got items. You got items from.
Oh, there's newspapers. There's clippings, world events, whatever anybody brings that we can fit in a gallon jar, and have a plastic tube irrigation pipe in the ground, and if I can find it.
Well, it all kind of hinges on that, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's the trick.
I think I know where it's at, but I'm going to have to rely on some other people in years to come to figure out where it's located. So, but it's right behind the sign at the flower garden.
Okay.
So it's not too hard to find.
great. And that's going to be happening at 10:30 after the museum being open for people to visit. And then the church fellowship hall looks like they'll have some good treats for everyone to enjoy together and catch up with each other for that alumni day as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's going to be really neat because we've got a gal coming to the alumni, and she's bringing, she had a whole bunch of books and information.
She's gathered information on graduates and families and spouses, and she has, I'm guessing, 10 3-ring binders full of information. If you want to know where this person lived or where they died and where they're buried, it's all in her books.
That takes a lot of work to put things like that together. That'll be really interesting for people to take in.
Yeah,
and she's one of my classmates.
Great. Well, that's awesome. And that's what an alumni event like that is all about, is reminiscing, and certainly that much information at your fingertips will make that easier too.
Yeah, and Bob and all the other graduates from Comstock, and the Comstock's just got a good heart, and it's because of people like Bob and his classmates, and there's just been so many special people held everything together.
Yeah.
And Bob, the Pirates Cove is one of those places where they take a lot of pride in. They've got, cheerleading costume outfits. They've got all kinds of memorabilia in there, and they love opening that up and having people walk through and sign the book.
Yes, and plus the last remnants of the print shop are in the museum, and the Comstock News, and so we have some machinery there on display, and a model of the schoolhouse since the building's gone.
That was made. Bud Ritz was kind of the heart. Him and Gail Lindstrom, they just Bud and Marion Ritz, they moved down to Arkansas, but every year that family came back to Comstock 4th of July, and they'd bring a float. Yes. And he made that remnant of the schoolhouse one year for a float, and it just, the dedication, and just to see that commitment and dedication to community is it's kind of a foreign concept, I think, into a lot of the younger generations. Unfortunately, in myself included, I didn't grow up with that, but I've been here going on 28 years, Bob. Can you believe that?
Well, and it's like those memories we talked about with the kids' races and the egg toss.
Yeah.
It's things like that that start building that in these kids, and whether they realize it at the time or not, later in life, when they reach their 30s and 40s, that's kind of when that really starts building, and we hope that they take the reins and keep things like this going on, and it's built on the foundation of those memories that they made as a kid. So it all ties into one another and makes these events continue to go on, and this is all going to round out on Saturday with the banquet for the alumni and friends of Comstock at the Westcott Baptist Church. And I think the key there is alumni and friends. Sounds like everyone's welcome to this.
Yes, we wanted to make sure those that have any allegiance to Comstock are welcome to come to the banquet. They don't have to be graduates, because it's been since the school closed in 1965, the high school, and we're losing a lot of the older graduates, and
I've gotten lots of calls, or it seems like lots of calls, when these guys wanted to have alumni banquet. I gotta admit, I kind of was a little bit skeptical, Bob, on that. But these guys that call me for the RSVPs and wanting tickets, I've had call from Oregon, and of course in Omaha, Lincoln area. They're wanting to be here. California, I had a guy call from California. He's going to be up for some Arcadia events, and they're really excited to be back and to connect. And I think I talked to a few of them. They are from the graduating class at 1955. So I think that's impressive. I think that's just so their excitement and their drive and commitment it's something to be said for that.
Yes. It's amazing how far everybody goes in life after they had graduated together. No matter where that is, life takes everyone everywhere, and it's great to have everyone come back. And I think it's so commendable that graduates from the 50s and 60s get together and catch up with each other. Because speaking as someone that graduated, it would have been 15 years ago now, I haven't seen many of my classmates since we graduated. Alumni things just really aren't a thing. I don't know why they aren't, but they don't seem to be as often anymore. And just kind of my observation is we have all these ways of keeping in touch with each other, from email to text messages and social media, but we don't use any of those things to reconnect with a lot of the people that we graduated with. You kind of stay in touch with your close friends, but things like this are super important, and that's really exciting. You've had those RSVPs. Yeah, it's kind of fun to see them come in, and they write little notes with their check when they send things. And I think I got one that said, "Well, I'm going to have back surgery on Wednesday, but I still hope to be there on Friday or Saturday." And I thought, wow, I don't know. I don't know if I'm that tough. yeah, that's pretty commendable for sure. Well, folks, a lot of fun going on the 4th of July, and then the next day on the 5th. You're certainly invited out. All of these events are going to be a blast. Whether you just want to bring your lawn chair and watch and observe and have some fun that way, or you want to get involved, lots of fun, from the road race and sand volleyball to the cornhole tournament in the afternoon, all the fun at the ball field. Don't forget, parade lineup starts at 9:30 on the south end of town, and the parade with the theme "The Way We Were" starts at 10:30. So get your spot on the 4th of July, and then stay all the way through the day with all the fun with the fireworks at dark. It'll be a really, really good time. Yep. Is there anything we didn't talk about, you two, that we wanted to mention before we close?
We do have a real good representation of the legions of neighboring towns. And one thing I tell the commander, when it's 10:30, you be coming down the street, and they are right on time.
Yeah, you never have to worry about that, do you?
No.
The Legion being on time. That's always great. An awesome way to start
and
the parade.
Legion riders will be in the parade too. So we appreciate the Sons of the Legion and the auxiliary, and it's quite an important part of our parade.
Yeah,
great. All right. Well, now the last step is to have it all happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have people show up, right?
Sounds like a lot of things are in order, and kind of like you said with the ball games, it's in place. So now everyone come to Comstock on the 4th of July and have some fun and make a memory.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Debbie, and thank you, Bob.
Yes.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming over. It's been fun.
Yes.
All right, and before we close out, we want to thank the sponsors that made it possible for us to be here promoting the Comstock 4th of July: Custer Public Power District, Doggett Tree Service, Creecock Ranch and Trucking, Trotter's Woe and Go, and Trotter Fertilizer of Sargent, and of course Santa and the Comstock Community Christmas Lights, all making it possible for us to be here this morning. So we'll go ahead and send it back to the studio, and folks, make sure you stay tuned, because you'll have your next opportunity at the Gas Up the Good Life Fuel Giveaway code word. So tune in for that. It's coming your direction shortly.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you so much to Comstock for inviting us over to promote the festival, the parade, and all the things that are going to happen. And, of course, big thank you to Santa.
Well, of course, man.
I mean,
that's impressive when Santa sponsors a remote. Wow.
There's a lot of festivals around, but I don't think so far there's been any others that had Santa as a sponsor.
Yeah.
Way to go, Comstock. You're listening to The Breakfast Show. We have that one last thing to do that Jeremy mentioned, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's that time again. Time to reveal today's code word for the Gas Up the Good Life Fuel Giveaway. Presented by Trotter's Whoa and Go. The code word is coming your way after a word from our sponsors. Get those pens and pencils ready.
Trotter's Whoa and Go is proud to present the Gas Up the Good Life Fuel Giveaway. Whether you're fueling up your ride yourself or your cooler up with 24-hour pumps, food, ice cream, beer, or ice, Trotter's Whoa and Go is proud to be your local solution. With locations in Broken Bow, Myrna, Sargent, and beyond. When you're looking for a stop, you're never far away from a Trotter's. Stick around and get entered to win $1,000, $500, or $50 in Trotter's cards, good at any Trotter's location across the region.
When you're shopping for your home, shop somewhere that feels like home. Bow Family Furniture and Flooring. For nearly 4 decades, they've been helping families find the perfect item for their homes. Furniture, mattresses, window treatments, flooring, and more at Bow Family. Shop flooring and a budget line of furniture at 305 South 9th or head to East Highway 2 in Broken Bow, where all the furniture is found. Bow Family Furniture and Flooring, proud sponsors of Gas Up the Good Life.
Celebrate the 4th of July with these prices good through the 6th at the Grocery Cart. 10-pound bags of fresh frozen Best Buy bone-in chicken hindquarters are just $8.98, and Land of Frost deli shaved lunch meat packages are 2 for $6. For a quick summer snack, Totino's pizza rolls are $3.98, and stay cool with Gold Peak tea. 52-ounce bottles are 2 for $5. California peaches and nectarines are $2.98 a pound. For your grill out, Kingsford charcoal is $9.98. Grocery Cart, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Summer is in full swing, and RTA's Hardware in Broken Bow has what you need to make it great. Whether it's for your backyard relaxation or for tackling that project, shop with RTA's Hardware. Right now, buy a Milwaukee M18 Fuel Brushless Hammer Drill Driver Kit or an Impact Driver Kit and get a $169 red lithium battery for free. One of several Milwaukee deals happening now at RTA's Hardware in Broken Bow.
At Gateway Motors, they'll go to the ends of the earth, literally, to find the perfect vehicle for you. They take every detail you share, from color to trim to the smallest feature, and search high and low until they discover exactly what fits your needs and style. When you work with Gateway Motors, you can trust they'll stop at nothing to make sure the car, truck, or SUV you want ends up in your garage. From North Dakota to Texas, California to Maine, where will the perfect vehicle you're searching come from? Go find out at Gateway Motors in Broken Bow. The Callaway District Hospital and Medical Clinics remind you that right now is the time to schedule your back-to-school physicals. The sooner the better. Don't forget about their public transportation service. Call 308-212-0464. Their specialty clinics are also a great service, including cardiology, oncology, general surgery, podiatry, orthopedics, and wound care. The Callaway District Hospital and Medical Clinics, committed to providing local access to high-quality care by continuing to invest in the latest diagnostic and treatment technology. The Callaway District Hospital and Medical Clinics.
Have you heard about premium quality Vermeer net wrap? You have to experience it for yourself. There is nothing quite like the sun glistening off of a tightly wrapped bale at sunset. This net wrap is made with heavy-duty HDPE for superior net strength, minimal stretch, and optimal net spread, which is lingo for optimal stacking, storing, and handling of large round bales. Vermeer net is available for 4-foot and 5-foot balers of all kinds with 9 size options to choose from. Experience it yourself. Stop into Power Solutions 2 miles east of Broken Bow on Highway 2. Get yours and bale some hay.
When it comes to paint, Chapin's Interiors on the south side of the square in Broken Bow has you covered inside and out. Chapin's Interiors offers Davis paint, custom mix to match your perfect shade, and Annie Sloan chalk paint for easy creative projects. Get expert advice from the people who know paint best, so you don't have to guess. Whether you're tackling a big renovation or a fun weekend refresh, Chapin's Interiors is your trusted local paint source.
Palmer Monument. Their goal is to assist you in selecting a memorial that best fits your family needs. With a wide offering of monuments and markers that come in many colors, shapes, and sizes, designs can vary from traditional to very unique. They pride themselves on their top quality materials and the highest craftsmanship. Designed with pride, sold with integrity. Serving Nebraska with several locations.
It's time for vacations and road trips. It's important to get where you're headed, whether across the county or the country. A1 Auto Repair in Arnold is here to help with their industry-leading 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty on non-wear items. A1 Auto Repair can do it all. Brakes, oil changes, new tires, alignments. It all starts with an appointment. Call 308-848-2542 or stop by East 7th Avenue in Arnold. A1 Auto Repair of Arnold, getting your ride reliable for the long haul or the errand across town.
It's the Gas Up the Good Life Fuel Giveaway. Your chance at almost $2,000 in fuel cards to Trotter's Woe and Go. Here's today's code word.
Time for that code word of the day, folks. So here we go. We're getting closer to the 4th of July. I'm sure you're hearing this sound plenty right now. Your code word for today is boom. B-O-O-M. Take that over to the contest page of sandhillsexpress.com and get yourself entered for those Trotters Woe and Go gas card prizes.
To get more entries, keep listening for more code words or look for them on our car in parades or at your local event. The Gas Up the Good Life Fuel Giveaway. Brought to you in part by...
Thank you to Nebraska State Bank, Dairy Queen in Broken Bow, and BD for partnering with us for Gas Up the Good Life to make these prizes possible. Keep entering and good luck. Now, back to regular programming.
Thank you, Jeremy. Well, first, before we close the show, I want to compliment Happy Jack. His shirt. I like your shirt, Jack. You don't have a cap on. You look like are you going on a date later today?
Oh.
Business deal of some kind? Well, you look good, man. And you, Brent.
Yes, Dave.
Baseball on your mind.
It is on my mind, yes. Tomorrow we're going to be at Paul Brown Field for you for Broken Bow American Legion Seniors Baseball. Broken Bow will be playing McCook in a seniors doubleheader tomorrow. And we're going to broadcast the first game for you tomorrow, which will schedule to start at 5:30. The West Division title of the Mid-Nebraska League is kind of up for grabs, and it kind of appears as though Broken Bow's in one of those scenarios that, well, they've maybe got to beat McCook once to claim the title. So with that in mind, we're going to broadcast the opening game of the doubleheader, which is scheduled for 5:30 tomorrow at Paul Brown Field. If the scenario exists that Broken Bow would end up having to win the second game of the doubleheader to clinch the division title, because so much would be up for grabs, Brent wouldn't be able to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the division title is on the line. So we'll be there for game one at 5:30. Might turn into a doubleheader broadcast. It'll kind of depend on what's happening for the division title. So we're just promoting it as Broken Bow goes for the West Division title tomorrow, live on KBBN Radio, and we'll be on the air with the game at 5:30.
All right. Sounds great. Baseball tomorrow on the Mighty Thunderbirds. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. See you then.